chapter 6, and the name of the chapter is Birds and Their Bodies. Now, in the book, page number 37, okay? So, in this chapter, we learn about the birds, some important points. I have written down here on the board. How do birds fly? Second point, feathers. And number 3 points, we'll learn about the beak. And then 4, feet and claws. Now, if you look at the book, the first topic is how do birds fly. Now, we know that birds are the only animals with feathers on their bodies. They have wings instead of arms. Most of them can use their wings to fly. So they have strong muscles attached to their wings. They use this muscle to flap their wings. So flap means to move up and down. So you have seen a bird flying, right? So the bird fly by flapping their wings. So flapping the wings, it means it's like that. It's up and down, which keeps the body up, right? Which helps them to fly. Now, birds are light because their bones are thin and hollow. This helps them to fly easily. Okay? Now, if you look at the word here, hollow, what does it mean? The word hollow means with a hole or empty space inside. For example, this is the bone of a bird. Let's just draw a simple example. Let's say this is a bone of a bird. So inside the bone, it's empty. There is a hole. Okay? There's a hole here. So the bone of the birds are whole inside. Okay? Hollow. Which makes the body of the bird light and which help them to fly. Okay? Now, have you noticed that how does the shape of a bird look like? If you look it very closely, it almost looks like an aeroplane, right? The front part of the aeroplane is narrow, the body is big, and the end part of the aeroplane is again narrow, right? Same like that. If you look at the shape of a bird here, the front part is narrow and the back part is also narrow, but the body part is big. Now, what does it mean? Now, this shape helps the dash bird to fly. So this is fill in the blank that you have to fill it up. Okay. Aeroplane also have this shape. To fly, a bird jumps into the air. Now, this fill in the blanks, you have to fill it up, okay? This shape helps the dash bird to fly, okay? Now, to fly, a bird jumps into the air first and then they flap their wings to push itself upwards and forward, right, in the air. It uses its tail to turn while flying. It spreads out its wing to stop. See, the bird jumps and then flap its wings to move upward and forward. Okay. Now, and then it uses its tail to turn. So you have seen driving a car, right? The driver who is sitting in the front, which is driving the car, what does he do? If he wants to take a right turn, he hold the steering and turn it right in this way, right? And if he wants to turn left side, that steering the driver is holding, he turns into left side and the car turns like that. See, if a bird wants to take a turn right or left, it uses its tail, right, to take its turn. And it spread its wing to stop it. Okay. Just like a driver uses its brake to stop the car, same way the bird which is flying, it want to stop flying, it spread its wing like that and then stops flying. Okay. There are more than 10,000 different kinds of birds in the world. Some birds, such as the ostrich, emu, kiwi, cannot fly, right? So there are some birds which cannot fly. Not all the birds can fly, right? Now, this is all about how do birds fly, right? Let's recap it. What do we learn in this first topic? How do the birds fly? The first thing is that the birds fly because they have wings and their bodies are very light. Their bones are hollow inside, which means hole is there, empty, okay? They have strong muscles in which the feathers are attached, okay? And they flap their wings to fly, and the birds use its tail to take its turn and spread its wings to stop. Okay, now the next is feathers. Okay, feathers help a bird to fly. They also keep their body warm. Now, the surface of the feather is oily, which means the body of the birds will not get wet. It is just like wearing a raincoat. So during the rainy time, if you wear raincoat, you do not get wet, right? Same like that, the feathers of the bird are oily. So when the water falls, it will not get wet. Okay. Now, the feathers of the bird also keeps their body warm. In some birds you see different types of kinds of birds, right? In some birds, some of the feathers are very like brightly colored. Okay, there are three kinds of feather we'll study about. The first feather here I've written here is flight feathers, second is down feathers, and the third is body feathers. So what is the flight feathers? The long feathers which you see in the bird, found in the wings of the bird, so and the tails of the bird, so those long feathers are called the flight feathers. So these long feathers help the birds to fly. Okay, and the next is the down feathers. Down feathers are very soft and fluffy feathers. They are found next to the skin. For example, this is the skin. The small feathers which you find inside the body of the bird, that is called down feathers. Okay, and that down feathers keeps the body of the bird warm. And the body feathers. The last is body feathers. So body feathers covers the body of the bird, which keep the shape of the birds. Okay, so we have learned about the three feathers. Okay, flight feathers, down feathers, and body feathers. So what does a flight feathers do? It is a long feathers which are found in the tail and the wings, which helps to fly. Down feathers are found just next to the skin, which keeps the body of the bird warm. And the body feathers, which gives the shape of the bird, right? Now, if you turn the page 39 with beaks, now we learn about the beaks of the bird. Birds have no teeth, we know that, okay? They cannot bite or chew. So their beaks is the one which helps them to eat their food, right? So the beak is the bird's mouth. Beak also help birds to build their nest also. Now, all the birds' beaks are not same, we know that. Different birds have their different kinds of beaks. Depends on the type of food they eat, okay? Now, example, if you look at the book, page 39, a hummingbird drinks nectar with long, thin beak. So, this is the example of a long beak. This is a hummingbird which has a long beak. Why does the hummingbird need a long beak? Because inside the flower there is the nectar of the bird. So, they put this long beak inside and uh, drinks the nectar from the plants, right? So next is parrot. If you look at the book, parrots, a parrot easily cracks open nuts and seeds with a strong curved beak. So a parrot beak is strong, which can break the cracks and uh, you can break the seeds easily. Okay. A sparrow. A sparrow has a pointed, short and pointed beaks. A sparrow picks up and crushes the seeds with a short pointed beak. Pigeons and peacock also have the same short and strong beak. A heron, a kind of bird which also has the same long pointed beak like the hummingbird. A hummingbird has a long beak. A heron is also has a long beak. Okay, so this heron's long pointed beak helps lift it out of the water. Okay, catches fish and it lift it out of the water. And then we have woodpecker. A woodpecker, you can see in the picture also, a woodpecker taps the bark of the tree with a sharp pointed beak. So a woodpecker has a sharp beak. It makes hole in the bark of the tree to pull out the insects from it and eat it. Okay. And then next we have a duck. A duck has a broad flat beak. See, you can see here in the picture, and it scoop up muddy water with it. The mud and the water flow out through the holes on the sides and then eats the small plants, insects left behind in the beak. So you have seen a duck in the water or nearby in your neighborhood, right? So it scoop the muddy water. So they have this broad flat beak. Let's say this is the, let me show you something. Let's say this is the beak of the flat beak of this duck. So what happens on right and the left, on both sides of this beak of this duck, the unwanted things, the muddy water and oil will fall from this side, but in the beak, the plants, the insects which they are eating will remain here. Okay, that is called the scoop up. Okay, scoop up muddy water. The mud in the water will flow out through the side holes and the plants will remain in the beak, and that's how they eat. Okay. Now eagles, vultures and owls eat the flesh of animals. Okay, they have strong, sharp and hooked beaks for tearing the flesh. See the example here in the book. Now these are all the different types of beaks of different birds. Okay, now let's come back to the feet and claws. Birds mainly use their feet to catch food and protect themselves, right? Now you have seen this cockfighting sometimes, like the rooster fighting, a bird fighting, right? They fight with their feet and beak, right? They also use them to sit on the branches. Some birds also use their claws. Okay, the feet and claws of birds are not same for all the birds and this one. They are depending on the needs of the bird, right? Now a crow, sparrow, blue jays use their claws to sit on the trees. They have 3 toes in front of and 1 at the back. So they have 3 toes in front and 1 at the back. Okay, they use the front one. They have 3 toes in front and 1 at the back. They use these front toes like our fingers and the back toes like our thumb. So let's say this is the thumb and this is the front finger. So they use this 3 and the 4, okay, like the finger and the thumb of our hand. You can see in the book, page number 40. So there's a picture of a sparrow sitting on a pipe. Okay, see the three toes which are coming in front, it's like the three fingers of the hand, and the one toe which is behind, it is like the thumb. Okay, now rooster and hens scratch the ground to find insect and seeds to eat. Their sharp hard claws help them scratch the ground. Cranes and herons have long thin legs with long spread out toes to wade through water. Now, these are the pictures of all the different types of birds with different feet and claws. Okay, the heron has a long feet of heron. See, this is parrot. Now, woodpeckers and parrot have toes pointed towards the front and two pointed towards the back. So it is different with the sparrow. Okay, the sparrow has three pointed front and the one pointed back, but a woodpeckers and the parrot has two pointed front and a two pointed back. Okay, this helps them to climb trees and hold fruits. Birds such as duck and geese have webbed feet, means flat. Okay, they the toes are joined together by skin. This helps them to swim. Now, if you look at the picture here, this is the feet of a duck which has a wave which helps them to swim in the water. Okay, eagles and hawks have sharp curved claws, and these sharp and curved claws are called talons. They use their talons to grip and carry the small animals. Now, if you look at the page 38, there are two questions given. Why can't humans not fly? Name the three kinds of feathers found on birds. We have discussed this one, very easy. So there are some questions here. We'll provide you the answer for these questions. What is the use of the beak? How are a heron's feet useful to eat? Okay, this question's answer will be providing to you. Now, page 42, exercise A, multiple choice questions. This is very easy. Go through the book and just try to answer all this. Okay, one I'll do for you. Which of these birds cannot fly? A, ostrich, parrot, C, sparrow, D, eagle. Okay, the answer is A. Okay, the ostrich cannot fly. Now, number two question, which of these are functions of feather? Okay, number three, which of these feathers gives birds its shape? Number four, what kind of beak does a woodpecker have? Number five, which of this bird has webbed feet? So the answers are given here. You just need to select it. It's very easy. Okay.
Stay home, stay safe.
Do it for self.
Do it for your family. Do it for India.
Let's break the chain of COVID-19.
हम होंगे कामयाब जय हिंद. हम होंगे कामयाब जय हिंद.
हम होंगे कामयाब जय हिंद.